ज्ञानतिवृन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरकृष्णे पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य तोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिग्गस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदताम् ध्यायन्तु भूतानुशिवं मिथो धियः। मनश्च भद्रं भजता नोक्षये आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्येति। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, chapter number 15, verse number 20. So, reading between King Chitraketu and the two great sages, Gira and so we learned how when King Chitraketu was very much in grief because of his son's death due to poison, and the two sages came and they tried to make him understand that these relations which we have with people are all temporary. One day there has to be separation. He died at the end of the line, but sooner or later somebody has to die. If not he, then the king will die. So there is bound to be a separation. That is the natural principle of material life. And therefore they said that there is no real relation. This is only based on ignorance because of identifying with the body. So they gave different examples for this. And when king heard this, he was very amazed that who are these two people who have come here without motivation, means in a hidden form, not known to which ashram they belong, to which varna they belong. Usually you could recognize the person previously just by the way the person was dressed. So brahmacharis, householders, sannyasis, vanaprasthas, they had their own different dresses and marks on their bodies by which one could know whether the person is brahmachari or grihastha or vanaprastha. And also you could get an idea of somebody the brahmana, kshatriya, or vaishya. There are different styles of dressing, appearance. So avadhut means that we don't know this. They are not belonging to an ashram. So therefore he said that, who are you and are you one of these great sages? And he gave a big list of these names. So then Angira he spoke and he said, I am Angira, and I came earlier and I gave you the son, which is dead now, and we have come to bless you because you are devoted, you are devoted to Lord, and it is not appropriate for you to behave like this. This is what he said. So he continues to speak. He says that Tadeva te param jnanam dadami griham Gyatva anyavivesham te putrameva pranam. Say that I should have actually given you this knowledge at that time itself. But I saw that you were very much desiring to have a son. And it was not appropriate or possible for me to educate you at that time, because if somebody is not hungry, then food does not have much importance for that person. The value of food is known to a person who is hungry. So when there is hunger for knowledge, then one can appreciate the knowledge. But if one is only interested in having a son, then how is he going to appreciate transcendental knowledge or devotion? So it says that was the reason that at that time I did not give you the supreme knowledge, which basically means Bhakti. And I gave you the son because of your abhinivesha, absorption, your deep meditation. So Sri Krishna says, Dadami adasyam punasya dadami yasya dadam. But I should have given you, I did not give, but I will give now. Adhuna putrinam tapo bhaktayev anubhuyate evam dharagni harayo nirudhashparya sampadaha shabdadayascha vishayas chala rajya vibhutaya mahi rajyam balam kosho bhritya mattara trijana sarvepi surasene me shokamoha bhayartidaha gandharvanagar prakhya swapnamaya manurata. So he says that now you understand the suffering of a person who has a son. So you have experienced it. If I had given you knowledge at that time and you are very much interested in the sun. So you would not have paid attention to that knowledge because of your desire for sun. But now you understood what happens when you have a son. You are suffering so much. And he says, from this you should try to extrapolate that all other things, life, house, wealth, power, position, and all the sense objects, movable or immovable, opulence of your kingdom, earth, your army, your treasury, servants, ministers, relatives, all these people, they can give you grief. They give you bewilderment, delusion, fear, distress. So all these things come. Of course, they give because of attachment. Really speaking, it is not that the son or wife or wealth or any of these things give. It is that attachment which gives the problem. If there is no attachment, then there is no such thing. The problems come only because of attachment. So that's what he is explaining. That all these relations
The network seems to be bouncing up and down, on and off.
So he continues with this that these are problems. Tadevam dharanam nityatvam avastvam vastutvam sokadi hetutvam agamapaitvam choktam. So in this way it has been explained that all these relations, the wife, etc., they are anitya and unreal, and they are the cause of lamentation and they come and go. Ye tu daradibhya anyepi sok moha bhayartida artha swapnanuttita te tu mithya bhuta evaitya agandana. And then all other things which are related with this, they are all, it says, just like the dream, they come and go. And like Maya, Indrajal, Madhurnathate, Tadutha Padartha. So he gives an example of Gandharva Nagar. So Gandharva Nagar is imaginary city in the sky. City. So that word is used for things which are unreal, like the mirage of the desert. Arthena vyagra sarpadina vinaiva drishamana swapnadi bhange sati na drishyante tadevam daradeva vastu vastu bhuta swapnadeva vastu bhuta sarve manubhava manuvasna janyatva manubhava manubhava. So he says they are a product of mind. Drishyamana vinarthena na drishyante manubhava karmabhir dhyayato nana karmani mansobhava. So these are all products of mind, what we have seen, and they happen without any sustaining reality behind them. Karmabhir dhyayato nana karmani mansobhava. So first you have desire in the mind, and then the mind, which is the source of desires, on the basis of desire you make any actions, and then on the basis of actions you get result, and that result makes you mind further. So therefore he said that it is all manobhava, product of mind. Karma vasna bhir arthan dhyayata punsho mansaiva nimittatvat karmani bhavan karma vidhyayati prati karma vapi dhyayati karma vapi manobhavatvat tatsadhyapi manobhayai. So karma is that which is beginningless, anadi. There are anadi vasanas. Although every vasana is not anadi, every usual vasana is a beginning, and but karma is called anadi, not that usual karma is anadi, but because it leads to one more, like the seed inside the seed, giving rise to another seed. So in that sense it is perpetually going on, and there is no end to it, and there is no beginning. So therefore there is no point in implicating yourself in outcomes of all these karma, because they keep on changing. Come and go, and if you become entangled in them, there is no gain which comes out of that except that you suffer. So he said you should just observe these things, remain just a witness, don't become entangled. So I am he dehino dehe dravya jnana kriyatmaka dehino dehe klesha santapa. He said that this is dehi, the embodied being, which is different from the body. The body is made from the 5 material elements, and there are 5 working senses and 5 cognitive senses, and all these things are giving various types of suffering, klesha, santapa, and vidodha. So although the embodied being has nothing to do with it, it is completely separate, yet because of attachment it becomes entangled in that. And then it suffers. So the whole problem is therefore of only attachment. If we relate with any of these things, then problem will come. So this is what said in Bhagavatam, in the 11th canto. Ayam dutiya vinivestasya ishadapetasya viparyasmati. Because of abhinivesh in the second, separate from our own self, the Atma, we have absorption into second this body. Then there is fear, there is distress, there is grief, there is anxiety. All these problems naturally arise. That is because of viparyasmriti, because of forgetfulness of our true nature. And isadapetasya, separated from God. And then all the misery that Tadevam mamataspadanam dukhetutpamutva ahantaspadasya api dehasya ayami. So first he was describing about the objects which are called mamtaspada, or the object of possessiveness, minus, in which we have sense of minus. And then there is antaspada, or sense of I. So first he described mamtaspada, objects in which we have sense of possessiveness, sense of relation. Now he is describing this verse, the sense of I. So I am he, they know, Brahma, Jnana, Kriya. There are three things. There are material elements, and then there are senses, and then there is the ego. So Brahma, Jnana, and Kriya. And because of that, there is action, and behind the action there is the agency. And then we think that we are the doer of that. So this is what happens. Dravya Jnana Kriyatmaka Adhibhuta Adhidaya Adhyatmaka Adhidaya Adhivansa Jivasya Tasmat Swasthena Mansa Vibhrishya Gatimatmana Dvaite Bhuvatma Vishwamam Tajapsam Avacham. So therefore he says that you should think with a firm mind. Swasthena Mansa Vibhrishya Gatimatmana. Your own situation, your own destination, the truth of your own self. So you should observe that properly and know that you are none of these things. And Dvaite Dhruvartha Vishwamba Tajav Samama. So this duality of I and my, this is the cause of all suffering. And stop yourself from all this and become situated in your own self. So then it says, Tyagarupsama should become peaceful. Swasthena avyagrena gatim tattvam dvaite antaspadam mantaspadam bhule antaspade jagati. So he is making three things. I, my, and something different. So it says all this duality is created by us. Jagati dhruvo vastav vastu bhuto ayamate vishwam vishwasam pranayam mate. Therefore, give up this idea that all these things are real or real objects of enjoyment. Vastu avastu mayatvat shashvatastu dhruvo nitya sadatana sanatana tatrupsam. So you give up this idea that ultimately saying Bhuvartha Vishram. Give up this belief that these things are permanent. So ultimately, two things which come out of this. Almost sometimes our sloka may look like if he's speaking in Advaita philosophy. But basically there are two things which come out. One is that nothing is permanent, everything is temporary. It says Bhuvartha Vishram Atyaja. You give up this idea that things are Bhuva means fixed, permanent. Everything around us is changing all the time, continuously. So sarvam kshanikam kshanikam. So everything is momentary. So everything goes on changing. Number two, you don't have a real relationship with anything. But if it is changing, how can you have a relationship with it? Before you think of a relationship, it's already changed. So you are not what you were before you came here, you already changed. So many information, so many sensations have gone inside, so many cells have changed. So you are different, although we don't feel like that. Because the change is so small, so minute, that we think, and even if it is small, it is similar. Because the change is dissimilar, then you can feel it, but it is similar. When you replace, if I have this page, and I bring another page exactly same material, same looking, I remove this and I put another page here. It will be difficult to recognize that this is not the same page. So because things change in increments, first of all, and then they change in a similar fashion. So it becomes difficult to recognize that change has happened. But it is happening. And this is the illusion, that we don't recognize this and we think it is same. So that's the meaning of Bhuva. So Vishramah Vishwasam Pranam Vatyaja Vastu Avastu Mayapura. Because what you are considering as Vastu means real, means permanent, is not permanent. Because Bhuva means that which is eternal, which is always existing. So Narada Vacha, then Narada speaks. Etam mantropnishadam pratiksha prayato mama nyam dhariyan saptaratra drashta sankarshanam. So it's very fortunate because Narada Rishi says that now with one pointed mind you take this mantra from me. And by taking this mantra, in 7 nights, you will have darshan of Lord Sankarsana. That's very wonderful. Just 7 nights. Nanu tarhi dhruvartha eva ka. So now the king is asking that you are saying all these things are changing, temporary. So what is the permanent object? I said, okay, if you want to be permanent, then I will tell you. Taveva mahyam kripya kathaya. Please tell me that one. Iti apekshayam angirasa prerito Mahabhagavatatvat Naradaiva. So, expecting this question, the great says Narada, he gave him, he started speaking, being in inspired by me. So although it is not said here, but it looks like that it is Angira only who asked Narada that he please give him the mantra. So etam mantrotmisham. So you take this from me, and then you will have darshan of Lord. Mantrarupam Upanishadam Pratikshadviham. So it is Mantra Vidya, also called Mantropanishad, Mantropadesh. So he is first informing him that I am going to give this to you and accept this. And very quickly you will see the result. Yatpadamulam nopshritya narendra Udve sarvadayo brahmanimam duteyam vishujya sadyastadiyam tulanadhikam hitvam rato bhavan chitaram muchiradapati. So he says, O king, in the past, Lord Shankara and other such great saints, they took shelter of Lord Shankara Shandev. And they gave up this delusion of duality and attained the glory of Lord Shankara. And there is nothing which is superior to him or equal to him. So very soon you will attain the same supreme destination or supreme feet of the Lord by this mantra which I am giving. So bhaveti bhavantam iti bhavantam ditiyam dvaitam tvaitam tvashati. So he is explaining the effect of mantra and effect of having darshan. Lord Shankara said yat pad mulam upsritya, by approaching his feet, which have been approached by great personalities like Mahadev Shankara, then Dvitiyam Brahmam Imam Vishyate. Then all your duality, all your confusion, this ahimta and mamata, I-ness and minus, this will be completely removed. So Satyastadiyam Atulana, then you will very quickly be under the shelter of his feet. He is called Atulanadika, means no one is equal to him or superior to him. So he will become devotee. And if you say that this was achieved by great personalities like Shiva, how can I achieve it? So he said, don't worry. When grace comes from the Lord, then he does not see whether you are qualified or not qualified, or you are small or you are big. So it is not in grace. So this is the end of this chapter. This chapter was a nice instruction by Sayyid Angira and Narada, mainly explaining the cause of suffering here in the material world, because people are considering something which is temporary as permanent. So now Narada will bring that boy back, just to make sure that it is any trace of attachment which is remaining. So he completely removed. So this is called a capable person who can do that. So this is the 16th chapter. So Bhagavatam. Atha Deva Rishi Rajan Samparetam nipatmajam darshitvaiti hovacha yatina manushochitam. He said after that, these two great sages, they showed the dead boy on the king, and then they spoke. The boy spoke to them, and they were lamenting. So usually we say that nobody comes back after death, right? But here is an instance where the dead person comes back and speaks words of wisdom. Sometimes there are books, near-death experiences, but there are people who experience some kind of death. They came back, and start talking about going into a tunnel or some place, dark, light. So, but they don't become wise. But I read one book recently. It's an interesting book. It's written by a surgeon, a famous surgeon in America. And he was an atheist. But one day suddenly he fell into coma. And it's long book. He talks about how his childhood and flying and this and that. So he fell into coma, and then he was taken to hospital. Same hospital where he was treated in 2007. Of course, he was given the best treatment. And the doctors, they didn't have much hope that he would come out of the coma. But the wife and the relatives, they kept on hoping and coming and coming. So after maybe 15 or 20 days, to everybody's surprise, because they were doing all tests on him, and he was not showing any sign. So he returned to normal state. And then he wrote an experience. And he wrote this experience before reading any other books. But I think his son told him that don't read anything. But after this experience he wanted to read, because he had heard these stories of people explaining their experience after death, or out of body experience, and he never did. He always used to think that it's all in the brain, and consciousness is a product of brain only. Normal understanding. But he wrote a book, and it is amazing, because after this he became a complete theist. He started going to church, he believed in God, preaching. But what he experienced, it is not possible just from the brain, because his brain was declared as dead. So he gave the experience that he went to some heavenly planet, he met some of his relatives, he also saw some kind of nice things, all types of experiences. He's seen there and going back. Of course, there's one thing that writes in the book, that the world from God can be owned. And if he wrote it after reading something or seeing the experience, so he said the only word which can be used for God is own. Really interesting. But the more interesting thing is that this atheist, the surgeon who believed that consciousness is product of the brain, it is something material, and there is no life after death, he completely changed by his experience. So that is good. Someone can have an experience like that. So this experience which Narada is giving is also good like that. It will change the king completely. He will give up all his grief, lamentation completely. You can see this boy himself will speak. He says, what are you talking? His father, his son. And to hear that from your own beloved person, whom you love so much, that is very instructive. Someone else telling is one thing, that all these relations are fake and nothing in there. But the very person for whom you are crying, he is saying this. So, Sorshe Mritputroktya Prabuddho Naradan Manu Prapya Sanskriya Shesham Almukhaj Jnanam Ripodhya. So, the subject which is described here in the 16th chapter is that his dead son will be brought back to life by Narada. Then he will receive the mantra from Narada, and with that he will praise Lord Shesha, and from Shesha he will hear transcendental knowledge. So that's what is being described. So Gyati Namiti Dvitiyartha Shashti. So everybody will listen to this nice dialogue. So this is the power of Narada. He will bring the dead and make him talk. So Narada Vacha Jivatmanam Pasya Bhadram Te Mataram Pitaram Chate Suhulo Bandhava Taptaha Suchatvat Kritya Bhisham. So Narada said, O living being, look at your mother and father, your relatives, your friends, they are all suffering, all of them, because of grief caused by you. So you have caused grief to them, and because of that grief they are all suffering. So tadapi shokam mohoyo shesham durvaram abhilakshya mrita putra mukhenaiva tam prabodhiti man jiveti sucha shoki. So Narada, he understood that the king, he still has some attachment, and because of that there is grief and there is delusion, and he wanted to make the king completely free from that. Because if one is having this attachment, then attachment are the things which hold us from advancing in spiritual life. Because they don't allow us to see things clearly. And this you cannot understand when we have attachments. As long as we have attachments, we don't see this fact that how attachments are conditioning. Only when we get free from them, then we can understand that how one is caught by these attachments. When we have them, then they are very dear to us. We don't want to give them up. We derive some energy from them. And we very much pet them, keep them alive. And we also think that how can I live without these attachments? Same story which Arjuna is saying. How can I live by killing these people? Because these people are just personification of his attachments. So the important is not the person but the attachment. Because the same person, when you give up attachment towards that, it is no value for it. People diverse. And when they are divorcing, then they don't have much importance for the person when they divorce. But the same person when they married, much they value it, how much. So what is the difference? It is the same person. So you have attachment and not attachment. So your vision changes according to attachment and detachment and the intensity of attachment. And you can understand the reality only when you become free from all attachments. Otherwise we remain conditioned. Our vision becomes conditioned. Our understanding, our realizations, they remain conditioned. So when Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, he says, give up all dharmas. Basically what he's saying, give up all attachment. Because Arjuna did not give up his dharma as a Kshatriya. Attachments. So that's what Narada is doing. So in this case, Narada is doing to him. We are not fortunate like this. We have just learned it from Bhagavatam. That if this happened to the king, we are not even the king. The king had so many wives, kingdom, palace, opulence, wealth. And he became detached. So what is the problem for us? We only have few things. It should be easy for us. It will be difficult with more attachment, more difficult to give them up. But he gave up. So therefore he says that tadapi soka mohayo shesham, that even after speaking like this and he said I will give you this mantra, this prayer, he still felt that still he has and it is not going because it lingers. Not easy to get rid of attachment. Sometimes it becomes a little slack. When you hear katha, you hear lecture, or you read, or something happens, some abnormal thing happens, you have a fight with the person you love, then your level of attachment goes down for a short period. But not, then it goes away completely. So as long as that seed remains, then it comes back and then it can also grow. So therefore he wants to remove the very seed. So no trace of attachment. Therefore he says, Vritaputra mukhenaiva tam prabodhita. I will make his dead son give instructions. Usually it is the father who is instructing the son. Here the son is instructing the father and making him free from attachment. So interesting. Kalevaram samavishya Shesham ayu smahidvrata bhungsha bhogan putriprattan adhitishtanipasana. So he's telling that you enter this body, because the body is still there. You cannot speak without the body. And Shesham ayu smahidvrata. So you enjoy the rest of your life being surrounded by your family, friends, and take the seat of the king and grow up. So Narada is actually asking him to come back and enjoy the kingdom of your father. When you grow up, you can be the king. So he is assuming that he has his life, because sometimes there is mrityu called akala mrityu. accidental death. So he's assuming that this was not his actual death. He should have lived a longer period of time. But he died because he was poisoned. So now he can come back and continue to live. Of course, Narada knows that this will not happen. He's talking about it. He says, Kalevara Maharshi entered into this, and then he lived a full life. But this was not your actual death. Sesam avshishtam ayu yapke atim apmrituna maranam rajanam. So why is saying like this? Because the king is thinking that the boy, he died apmrityu or kamamrityu, not natural death. So therefore he can lead the rest of the day being surrounded by all these relatives. Vastutastu tasya nasti eva ayu vaikatvat. But he said in reality he did not have any life. Because he was given by Indira only so that the king could have the feeling of son, and then the knowledge how you suffer when you lose it. Otherwise, he was not destined to have a son. It was not in his fate, in his destiny to have a son. It was a special arrangement made by Indira to educate him. And Narada knows this, so there is no question that he has a remaining life. But sometimes it is possible that somebody is meant to live a certain amount of life, and then that person dies because of accident or somebody being poisoned. And it is possible that the person may have to remain as a ghost or something for the remaining period of time. And then only he will give up the ghostly body and move on to the next life. So that's why this Sraddha is performed in India. So Sraddha is the process by which if there is somebody hanging like this, then he will be released from that ghostly body. So there is a story in Padma Purana of Bandhumar and Gokarna. So this Atmadev Brahmana, he was there, he also did not have any son. And he wanted to commit suicide. So he met his sannyasi and he gave him a food, said, give it to your wife. So he came and gave it to his wife, but his wife was very clever. She didn't want to eat the food, thinking, I will get pregnant and then I have to suffer giving birth. So she tricked the husband and gave the food to her sister. And then she feigned as if she was pregnant. And the child was, half the food was given, she gave the food to the cow. And her sister was pregnant, so she gave birth, she brought the baby and gave it to the wife, and she made the news that she has given birth to the baby. And then cow gave birth to a boy with cow ears, Gokarna, means cow karna, and she. So there is a place in the words from Gokarna. So of course then later on the story is that this boy was named as Bandhumar, and he was a rascal from very birth. He troubled his parents, he used all their money. Finally, he killed them. And then he was attached to prostitutes. And one day the prostitutes, they tied him to the cot and they burned him to death. So he becomes a ghost. And Gokarna was a very saintly person. So he had left home, he was traveling. And one day he came back to Mathura to his house. And at night, when he was there, this ghost came and started speaking to him. He said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm your brother." What happened? And he told. So he said, "Now you release me from this ghost." So when he recited Bhagavatam. So that was the next recitation of Bhagavatam. And then he was released from the ghost before. So Krishna Chakravarti said that such is not the case with the boy. He does not have any life like this. Therefore, he is not going to come and live in the body. So now we will see what the boy will speak. He will stop speaking. Zero watch. Day after tomorrow. Tomorrow there is no class.
So the very fact that here I put the king into his grief because he was not ready to hear due to his attachment. Doesn't this question the validity of preaching to materialistic people? All this preaching that's going on to all these people who are really not ready, and he has thousands of attachments.
Well, his attachment was only one, to the sun. And they are removing it. So they have the power to remove it.
Where does this idea stand of trying to convince everybody to take up spiritual life, although they have so many attachments and they are not really qualified?
No, you can do that if you can remove their attachments. They are doing.
Yeah, but we see in general the attachments are not removed. They are just kind of.
So if the attachments are not
Dressed up
removed, then the
differently.
person also does not take to spiritual life. If they are not removed completely, at least they have to be weak, slackened, so that the person takes some interest in spiritual life. So that is necessary. But if you don't remove them, it will change his lifestyle. But he will do the same things. Because we act according to our attachments, according to our desires.
But we see in the world of religion, this is a phenomenon that people
So then you also
dress
see
up all their ambitions and attachments with the religious garb and feel very very right and very saintly or whatever.
So
And it gives even the right to kill others.
So that's what I'm saying, that you also see the effect of that. You can also see the corresponding result. You will see the result here, and then you see the result there.
And the next question is, from that story, it seems to be impossible to get rid of one's attachments by oneself.
Yes. That is true. So Prahlad Maharaj, he says this in 7th Canto, we read that now. We are going to the 7th Canto. So, Bhakti Krishna, Bhakta Sato, Bhakti Griha